If we just turn the air.
We're live.
Is it working?
I hope it's working. Is the air not working?
Well, it wasn't yesterday, and it wasn't this morning.
Is it
You're
warm
live.
in here? I know. I see the big red thing. I see it's noon. I see everything
Wow.
that's going on.
I'm pretty
That's
comfortable.
my problem. Is I see everything. I almost. Is it a superpower or is it a curse?
It's warm out here, dear.
It is beautiful.
I'm going.
Go. It's time for video check-in. Don't hit the lights. What is wrong with you? To my left, co-host, chickenista, chicken expert, Kristen. Today is going to be an awesome show. Look at Goosebumps.
Coyotes are everywhere.
What's going on, Kristen?
Oh, I was just getting my chicken poop necklace on.
Can I get some? Someone's already pooped. Ingrid's
Conversions.
like doing her job. Ask and you may receive. Ingrid is on it.
Don't blame it on me.
Oxygen is the solution to foul odors.
I just felt it on my back. It's warm and oh, God.
I knew I was going to have serious problems that, like, the coop remained that much better than the house forever.
The coop is beautiful, by the way. I'm not trying to plug your products by any means.
Please do.
Lipstick, give me a makeup kit. You know, I'll be nice and pretty for the crows.
Oh, so let's pull out another chicken. This is like a magic trick. Up to 1 o'clock already. Oh my God. We have a new Ingrid.
Memo! I missed the memo.
Know a lot of people who do raise rabbits alongside their chickens.
Why would you wait till the last minute to pull out your homework?
Have we met before?
Yeah, that's a good one with the cords and everything.
This falls right off, and he regrows a new one the following spring.
Calm down, Matt. Calm down.
Why?
This is a really interesting show.
It's see?
Yeah.
My fault. I love it, Cindy. You just earned yourself a shirt. I love that.
Yes, Matt, you are right.
I had no idea what to expect when we opened up that box, and this is why we love what we do.
That's my goal, is to really bring people together through chickens.
The power of chickens.
So-
What if I'm not hungry?
You're not hungry?
I am not hungry.
You're very hangry.
You're hangry.
I am not hangry, guys. I'm gonna forewarn everyone. I will be shocked if we get through today's show. I'm gonna do the best I can.
Abort.
Sounds like a hard stop today.
Yes.
I'm gonna run away.
Oh my gosh.
I'm scared.
There's nothing to be scared about.
I'm staying over here.
So no one told me that we're gonna be doing maintenance on the air conditioning units today, which usually means yes, they're gonna shut it down. So
Is that sweat on your brow?
No, I have not. My
Or are you just shiny?
My forehead has not been waxed. That is sweat, which reminds me, I got a slow motion of
Were you
Ethan's.
not briefed by young Garrett this morning?
That he was changing out a board. That's it. Not even on this zone. Good times. What's going on, guys?
Well, at
Welcome
least we have air
to
conditioning.
Video Chicken Live. My name is Matt. That's Kristen. Ingrid's over there. Christopher's here. How you doing? Christopher, huge compliments on the social media.
Nice.
Thank you. So today is May 10th.
It's going to be a great day.
Yeah, well, we'll see. So May 10th, that's kind of an important date, right, Kristen?
Right.
This was all your idea, just for the record.
We have
Tonight will be the test.
This is the first time that Carolina Coops has sponsored a night at the ballpark.
At the ballpark.
And we have a beautiful 8x24 American coop with chickens at the ball field behind center field.
Yes. Did you have to think about that?
Yes.
Yeah, center field.
Yes, because I'm not.
You didn't play
sports-oriented.
baseball. Are we looking all right? Like literally walking in as if not one more thing can happen, but the lighting is fine, is it not?
Yes.
Okay.
We had a light off.
I guess I need to go to CEO counseling. That's what I need. Does anyone know of CEO counseling? Maybe it's owning a business counseling, because I can't believe I'm the only one that goes through what I go through. Have faith and just give me a second. Anyways.
Do you have anything to get off your chest?
No, I never have anything.
That's the title of today's show.
There's no way, because I never have anything to get off my
I
chest.
don't know. Betty said that.
I mean, it's a sure thing, really.
No, now listen, hold on. You got to stop. We can't overtalk each other. Remember, this is a well-scripted show. Okay, go ahead. I'll pause. You go.
I'm speechless. I didn't get the script.
There are tons of, yes, Ben, you are correct. Tons of leadership training. I've gone to leadership training. That's not what I mean.
It might be time for a refresher.
No, what I mean is there must be, I guarantee you, there are people out there that make a living counseling business owners, because only business owners can understand It's a nightmare. It literally is like a nightmare you can't wake up from. Most times, not every time. So today, no, this is not about what Matt's going to get off his chest. Today is about you guys. It's about bragging that tonight we are doing our first sponsor night. It's all Kristen's idea. I hope it
Well, I was skeptical until we visited and we saw the space and we're like, whoa, this is perfect.
Not only the space, but the people.
Right.
I mean,
they were so excited to have us there.
I can't say enough about the organization for Winston-Salem Dash.
And they have events there pretty much every week of the year. So it's not just a ballpark. It's really a community center.
So tonight, hype hens. So Winston-Salem Dash is going to be changing their uniforms to hype hens. I meant to ask Christopher if you could have that queued up, ready to go. I love the reel he did with the song "Take Me Out to the Ballpark," and I guess I get it. You know,
isn't it ball game?
Huh?
Isn't it a ball game? Take me out to the ball game, or is it
probably? I don't really know. Maybe we should play it. Maybe we can cue it up.
I don't know. Maybe my memory hole is wrong.
Who knows? I was more of a football player than a baseball player.
And I wasn't either.
Anyway, so guys, if you have any questions, please.
Here's a question.
I need some questions. Thank you. Bug question. What a way to start. Ben, you must be a genius. Is there a deterrent to stop wasps from building nests? They seem to love my house. Yes, there is. See, I do want to start a second show because I can go on. Already a thumbs down. I'm sorry. Did I piss you off? I'm sorry. Walk a day in my shoes. All right. There is absolutely a deterrent. And the best, how can I say this? Okay, when you look at a wasp nest, and when we're talking about wasp nests, we're talking about wasps, not bees, okay? We're talking about the most likely an open comb nest or a nest like yellow jackets or hornets will nest where they have an envelope around the layer of combs. You'll see they love to nest underneath overhangs to stay out of the elements, okay? Because they don't want to get rained on. So what I did as an exterminator, this is, maybe I am part hippie, to be honest with you. I just don't like to be stupid and wasteful. Our job as an exterminator was to go around the outside of the houses at the right time. So there's your first answer. It's all about timing, which is kind of now, depending on where you are, is you want to treat with a residual insecticide where the wasps may nest so that when she comes in and lands saying, oh, this is a good spot for a nest, and all of a sudden she starts to pick up that insecticide residual, she flies away and goes, oh, screw this place, and probably going to go die or go somewhere else. So that's what I mean by a deterrent or what we call prevention. Now, what I didn't like as a professional exterminator, they tell you just hose the whole house down.
Yeah.
It's like, why? That is such a waste of time, product. I can't tell you how many nights I went home. Nan can tell you I was on fire. Like, I will definitely, it'll get me from all the pesticide usage, just on fire. So I was like, I don't want to use more than I have to. And I started calling it sniper-like, where it's like, let me go hit the spots I know a wasp is going to want to nest.
Right.
And
under the eaves and stuff, in the corners.
Absolutely. And the other thing too, Ben, is you got to make sure you use the right type of formulation because every surface is going to be different. So you're going to have porous surfaces and you're going to have non-porous surfaces. And you don't want to use certain insecticide residuals that are going to penetrate into the porous surface because if they do that and the wasp lands on the surface, she doesn't come in contact with it. So timing and identifying the type of surface you have. So if you have like vinyl siding, you can get away with different types of insecticides. I wouldn't recommend hosing the whole thing down. Now, I'm sure some people can make an argument for other types of deterrent, like keep bats around maybe. I don't know.
I heard something that I thought was interesting, and you probably will debunk it, but sometimes you take a paper bag and close it up so it kind of looks like, it looks like a wasp's nest. And if you put that near, they think another nest is there, and they won't build a nest there.
I doubt it. And I'll tell you why.
This is what social media. This is the ills of social media.
Right. This is like taking a bag of water, and people swear by this
with the flies,
especially in Texas,
with the pennies and the flies.
They swear if you take a plastic bag of water and hang it by the doorways, that when a fly comes up, it magnifies their reflection, making them think that's a predator, and they fly away. And you got to put a little penny in it too.
Yeah,
you always got to put a penny in it. I doubt it. But God, they swear up and down. So now, as far as the bag, I would guess that they will start chewing it up and using it for nesting material.
Really?
Oh,
They
yeah.
wouldn't think it's like. So are they territorial or because that was I guess
Kind of, yes.
So I guess that was the reasoning behind the theory that this would work because they figure somebody else is there, so they're going to find different territory.
Right. And you got yellow jackets, you got bald-faced hornets, European hornets, you got northern paper wasps.
Which are all pollinators, by the way, people.
They are. I mean, a wasp is a carnivore, so their primary food source is to feed on a lot of protein, but they also have to have sugar to get the energy to do their thing, and that's where they pollinate.
Don't we all?
Yes. Speaking of sugar, I don't know why we got overloaded with donuts this morning.
Yeah, who brought those in?
A customer.
Yeah, we got customer donuts, and Ethan brought in donuts, right?
Oh, that was Ethan's doing.
I think it was Isaac.
Isaac?
They're Krispy Kremes.
Who's Isaac?
Yeah.
Or,
No, I think a customer brought in. You'll learn. You'll learn.
He's
one
on
of
a
these
sugar rush.
So, anyways, Ben, I hope that answers that
I
question.
just want to make sure that whoever I know the customer brought in the Krispy Kremes.
Oh wow!
And I'm taking a couple of those home.
I didn't realize.
So again, good morning, guys. It is.
I had a couple questions.
May 10th, 2024. Already got a thumbs down, but thank you for the thumbs up.
Probably because the first question was exterminated.
No, the
it was
thumbs
before.
up was before. It's because
This is for Kristen.
we got a lot going on today. Oh, I kind of would like another question.
I'll give
Can
you
I
another
read
one.
it at least?
Sure.
All right. So Jean asks if the American Coop holds 7 chickens, not free ranging, how many bantams will it hold?
Is that a setup?
Well,
Thank you for this question, Jean. As many as you would like, because
Bantams
as we
don't
know,
count.
bantams don't count.
My husband will disagree.
Oh, come on, you love it.
What is
Look at the little smirk.
What is the real answer? What is the legit
That is my
our
answer,
14?
and I'm sticking to it.
14?
I still think that's so. Sean says no more little chickens because when you can't find them, they're very. When you have like one little chicken that is like spotted and totally camouflaged, he's like, I spent 25 minutes looking for Midge.
So listen, okay. So this is a great question. So let's be serious for a second. All right, no more laughing. Okay, today is, as the customer said, Fat Friday. So you can break your keto diet. All right, no, this is important because basically, when you are thinking about what size coop should I get, what size coop should I build, we say it all the time, unless you're just doing a standalone hen house. But here she mentioned something very important, not free ranging. So we care about, well, how much space do we need inside that run? And we tell people with your standard hens, minimum of 10 square feet per hen. So we cut that number right in half. Now, I am going to assume she's referring to our 6x12, which is 72 square feet. So that's where she's saying 7.2 chickens. So you can technically have 7 standard hens and
a bantam.
And a bantam.
There
but
you go.
basically, you cut that number in half, so you give them 5 square feet per hen. So technically, you could double it to 4.
I would say 7 chickens and a bantam would be fine.
4, no, but if she's going to do all
We
bantams.
don't have to. Oh, wait, what? Yeah.
How many bantams will it
Oh,
hold?
if you're going to switch over to all bantams?
Well,
Yeah,
that's what
double
she's-
it.
So it's really that simple.
Yeah. Sorry, I missed that. I was just so distracted by the pictures of bantams floating through my head.
Wanda Williams says owning your own business isn't easy. It is not. I wouldn't change it for the world, but my gosh, there are days. The problem with owning your own business, you see things and you hear things that will pierce your soul. The only way I could ever explain it is for people that have children is as if someone went up and slapped your child. That's how the pain can feel sometimes. Karsten has a question.
Go ahead, Matt.
Our chickens are getting manna from heaven.
It's a biblical reference.
Okay, manna from heaven. Hey, tell me about the biblical reference.
And the Israelites in the desert had manna come from heaven when they were starving.
When they fled Egypt.
Yeah.
What's manna?
People don't know. Some people think it might have been like a mushroom or. We don't know.
Because a lot of things did happen that definitely affect their journey, the starvation.
Mm-hmm. Would they eat it for 40 years when they left Egypt?
Man, if anyone knows what manna, okay. Cicadas are treats from God. They are laying on top of a picnic table, satisfied with their fill. Can they overeat?
Overeat.
Oh, sorry, overeat on cicadas.
I would give them just all the leeway possible.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
they're gonna eat what they want to eat, and we can all feast every now and then.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I would agree that
They're going to know.
having cicadas does so many things, from one, aerating the soil.
I mean, shoot, I think we can eat those.
To probably
I
Ethan.
saw
Oh my
something
gosh. Can anyone find a cicada that Ethan can eat today? That will make my day. If you guys want to see Ethan eat a live cicada, give us a thumbs up. What do you mean no? He will absolutely, this is like, instead of Fear Factor, this is Chicken Factor. And we are going to have Ethan eat some live cicadas.
A live one.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because it's not going to be fun if it's dead.
Well, we want to know it's fresh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
and the
true.
secret,
We
what is
care
the,
about 'em. We
what
care
is the
about 'em.
secret when it comes to eating live bugs?
Swallow quick.
No, opposite.
Chew.
You got to chew them because you don't want to swallow them alive. You got to chew them to make sure they're dead. Does anyone have access to a live cicada? I repeat, access to a live cicada and
I'm glad
access
I'm-
to Ethan.
I'm not.
We're going to make this happen
I'm
before the
glad-
show is over.
I'm glad I'm not Ethan, and I'm glad that's not my superpower.
So hold on. Mosaic, he chimes in a lot. He's always here. Mosaic, thank you for being here. Question, are you worried about a chicken getting hit by a foul ball? I kind of get it if it was FOWL. No, they have a huge net in front of center field, and they won't get hit with a foul ball.
Brenda says, happy birthday, Sparky Pratt. So if it's Sparky Pratt's birthday, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
He's a fan. He's always here.
So correct, I have honeybees. I'm talking wasps. Okay, yeah, just to be fair, because a lot of people don't understand that. We have got to be so careful, even with wasps and insecticides.
We got the questions are like coming
I know,
in.
I love the questions. Keep having them come in. Someone, please, listening out in the office, find me a live cicada and find Ethan. He'll absolutely do it. He'll
I think
Nod
they just.
said Ethan wasn't here today.
No, Ethan is very much here.
okay.
Trust me.
Oh, you can feel his presence.
Oh, did I?
Are you like
did I,
conjoined
did,
twins?
Did I
Like
show
we're
you the
twins that
video?
He does have a presence.
I'll have to see if I can get it to chime or to queue up. But here is Ethan. I don't know if you saw that. Should I share this with everyone? You ready?
I don't.
The man just sweats like crazy. So I had him shake his head in slow-mo. He is definitely here. Will you have the option of building the Cali Coupe out of Redwood? We always have that option. We can absolutely do it. Redwood, I have a love-hate relationship with Redwood. Now, Redwood is a great wood, especially if you're looking for something that has rot resistance to it. So you got your redwoods, you got your cypress, you got your cedars. Even Doug fir we've shown have rot resistance to it. White oak has a rot resistance to it. Now, the thing that I do like about redwood is because those trees grow so big, you yield some beautiful straight grain wood. However, when we have priced it out, when we've been asked in the past to build a coop out of redwood, I cannot believe how expensive it is. It is
makes sense, though.
Yeah, it does. It is astronomical. I don't know I don't know enough about the foresting of redwoods like we do a lot of the trees that are purposely grown for harvest for lumber. I have to believe they probably do that with redwoods, but being not from the West Coast and really understanding redwood trees on the West Coast, I would almost think that they don't want to harvest them because aren't they kind of low in supply?
Yeah, I would think. Ben has a follow-up question.
What is the effect on honeybees? I have multiple hives. What is the effect on honeybees? Question
On
mark.
the residual.
With the he spraying for the wasps.
I wouldn't spray anything.
Well,
Yeah,
again,
right.
this is I agree. Why? I mean, do the wasps really bother you that much? You know, and again, it's all about.
Can you just knock down their nests?
Yeah,
but
at night.
that's not what he asked. Can you? Yes, but they will build right back if you don't
All right,
kill
knock
them.
down the nests and use that baseball bat a little extra.
No.
No.
So it's all about prevention. That was when he
Can
says
you just
deter.
do a wasp spray killer? Just kill the nest
Yeah, can you do
without
that?
doing a residual?
Okay, again, I'm sorry, this is the bug guy in me. When you say the
know.
word
I-
deterrent,
We're feeding into
we're talking
it,
about
too.
prevention, and then there's reaction. There
Right.
is the art of the kill, and then there's the art of prevention. And
So
as-
maybe it's better for him to do the reaction if he has multiple beehives because you don't want to treat your whole house. I know the bees aren't going to nest up there necessarily, not the honeybees that he's raising.
But it's the overspray. It's
Yeah.
the amount.
Yeah.
It's the runoff. I used to hate it. I was like, why waste all this product? And it's just, I mean, like if you only knew what happens in commercial kitchens, it would gross you guys out. The amount of pesticides that are just hosed in these commercial kitchens. And then they come behind you washing everything with hoses, which is also bad. And it just goes right down the drain. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. It shouldn't really, if you do what I was explaining, it shouldn't affect the beehives as long as you don't have the drift and the overspray. And there are legal laws that you're only allowed to apply that high up if it's 5 miles per hour wind and less, but I doubt people abide by that. But I would just say, what I was really trying to think is, you got those wise tales where it's like, okay, if you paint your eaves black, the wasp won't nest on it. I really don't know of any other good prevention other than not having eaves, which is almost impossible. But I guess
modern houses.
I was just gonna say modern homes would, yeah.
Then they'd go in the attic, right?
Oh God, the attic is a whole nother world when it comes to bugs. If they can get in there, yes, but they don't want to. Wasps that build the large nests, like European hornets, one of my favorite ones. They're big, they're beautiful. They a lot of times like to go in cavities because their instincts are going to hollow trees. They will nest up inside attics.
I saw a giant nest on it, and I noticed it in the winter when the tree had no leaves, just like on a tree branch. Do you think that's that kind of? I mean, it was massive.
So bald-faced hornets are known. They love to nest aerially. Did I say that right? God, I was well done. In trees, not as much over a soffit. I don't know why.
That's funny.
But bald-faced hornets are beautiful. They're all black, except for they have a white face to them, if you will. That's how they get the name bald-faced hornet. They are some mean buggers. They'll start bouncing off you at first, kind of warning you, and then next thing you know, they're just attacking you if you get too close. And they can get pretty big. It has a lot to do with the food supply, what kind of summer we're having. Are they able to thrive or not?
I have a bug question.
Oh,
I have love bugs in my car. Is that an issue?
I'm sorry.
I shut the door and thought, well, maybe I'll just drive with the windows down and see if that helps.
I gave Kristen love bugs by accident. I
don't get it.
She gave me a plant, and I opened up the car the next morning to get the plant out, and there were love bugs all over the car.
I didn't know we had love bugs here.
The little red. I have a picture. They're the red bugs that.
I was going
I would
take
love
the
to
car.
See a picture.
I will show you a picture.
All right, Tracy asks, hen is using egg box as brooder. Okay, great topic for the day. She is on fertile eggs. Do I leave her there? That is definitely a Kristen question.
Oh, yes. If she's on eggs, leave her where she sits.
Yeah, especially if she... Those are box elders.
Okay, box elders.
Well, they may not be here.
No, I think
so.
they are.
This is a true bug because true bugs, actually, their wings don't fully develop. And that might... I don't know.
The younger ones are all red, and then the older ones look like this.
They're definitely not box... That's a box elder. Those are box elders.
Yeah, then they're box elders.
You have box elder trees here?
No. Well, no, I don't. I don't have any trees.
Anyways, okay.
Is that an issue?
What? No, you have nothing to worry about. All right. So, hen is using egg box as a brooder, which is good. Okay, that's typically where they're going to use it as a brooder.
Yeah, definitely leave her on her eggs because we don't want to disturb her. She's set there. She's going to be, she's always going to come back to the nest because that's where she left her eggs and she started her sit. So don't disturb her. Let her sit in the egg box while she's incubating those eggs, and she'll also hatch the eggs there.
Nothing. I'm just hands off because Matt's got the mouse.
Oh, okay. Yes. So you will need to. I'd like to move her, maybe the second night after the chicks hatch because she will take them out of the nest. So I like to do that at night. Just put her on the ground, maybe in a little box or a little dog kennel.
We've seen this. She'll take the baby chicks out of the nest box.
Yep.
And take them typically down in the run in a coop like ours.
Yeah, down the ladder. So
and then she kind of lets them. She does everything there.
How does she take them? Because I had my first one do that.
Sometimes
yes, you do. We've seen it.
Well, sometimes they tumble, so that's why.
That's why I'm saying. I just went outside and I saw all the babies out. I'm like, how did they get out?
I like to do it at night. Just put her on the ground in a little cardboard box or a little dog kennel, just somewhere where she feels safe on the ground in the run.
Gina has a question. My girls are eating a ton of cicadas. Is this harmful?
No.
No, we answered. Asked and answered.
Is that the second cicada question?
It is.
It is.
We need to make a video.
We absolutely do. Thank you, Christopher. And here's the thing. When I drive home,
He's on point over there.
I hear cicadas, and then I don't hear cicadas. Then I hear cicadas.
Yeah,
I have 0 cicadas out of my house.
I'm on a gardening forum, and people are saying in Raleigh, like they're in this neighborhood, but not this neighborhood.
Yeah, I haven't heard them yet. I told you I didn't see them.
And I've seen a few, like the cat was eating one, but I haven't heard them. So it's definitely.
I'm trying to get Jesse. Jesse said he has millions of them around his house. I want to see if he can bring some for Ethan to eat on the show.
See, they're very. I don't know. I hope.
So I don't think it's harmful. I don't want to get Ethan sick. I don't think anything can make that boy sick.
No, they're like locusts.
Manna is bread.
Yeah, Mike Trapp says manna is generic for food. Some people say bread.
We think. We don't.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm fascinated by. The translation throughout the years of from language to language and kind of the message. Hey guys, missed the first 15 minutes. Well, I'm glad you are here. So have him eat chicken poop. He's already done it. He's actually dipped his meat stick in there. Cicadas taste like shrimp. Carson, you've actually tried cicadas?
They taste like shrimp.
Interesting.
I'll pass. Elizabeth says she'll pass on
like
someone
shrimp.
eating a cicada. Is that bad? I thought that'd be good, fun, good, clean entertainment.
But the second part of her comment is so exciting. I watched a chicken eat a snake yesterday.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
That is fun.
That happened here not too long ago. I tried to get on video.
It's hard.
And
Because they're running.
Oh, they're running 100 miles an hour.
They think they've got the biggest, best worm in the world.
Absolutely. And all the other chickens come following suit.
Oh,
They're trying to chase.
What kind of snake was it?
I didn't get a chance to see it.
Mine are always, I think they're called a worm snake.
Yeah.
They're gray on the top and pink on the bottom.
They're so hard. They can't, like mine just end up pecking them to death, the eastern worm snake, because you can't, they're very hard. They think it's a worm, it's not.
Is this a joke? Wait a minute. Alex has a question. Why would my dog stop laying now that it's getting warm in the Texas, Dallas area?
Maybe.
You think that's just a typo?
I think, yeah.
Or is this a joke?
I think it would be it might be a hen.
Yeah, I think it's a typo because if it was a joke, it really wouldn't be that funny.
We have seen when hens when it gets hot, it starts to stress them out.
Yeah, Texas is pretty hot.
Yeah, they slow down and they'll stop sometimes when
if they're
extreme
stressed.
heat.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. We won't have Ethan eat a cicada. I definitely.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll do a disclaimer.
When
Look
Francine
away.
says no, then it means no.
That's right.
I don't get a kick out of watching me. Okay, so yeah, okay, fine. We're not gonna do it. I just know he will do it. I thought it'd be hilarious. What coop would you recommend for those living in the Southeast Alaska? We have bears, eagles, ravens, and weasels as our biggest predators. High winds and lots of rain here. Okay, we have coops in Alaska. Any of our coops can be in Alaska, but every situation is a little bit different. What I can tell you is if you are in a high wind area, you're gonna want to pour a concrete foundation. And it's very specific, not a pad inside the run area, but maybe for the hen house, or if it's a Carolina Coop, then you just do a perimeter. So the coop bolts down to the concrete. The concrete adds a paperweight, if you will. It's all that weight helps keep the coop down. Make sure you have the direction of your hen house going the right way so that the back of the hen house faces the prevailing winds. What you don't want is for the parachute of the coop, if you will, that run facing the prevailing winds. You have much higher chance of it blowing away on you. And when it comes to bears, this has been coming up a lot. Bears, if you have a very large predator like a bear, the best thing to do is incorporate some type of hot wire, some type of electric that will zap them and deter the bear from the chicken coop.
I think the worst one is the weasels or the fisher cats.
Yeah, weasels can really, they're smart. They can really be clever. They can get into small areas. And knock on wood, we have never had, I think once years ago, supposedly a weasel got in to one of the coops when we used to drill ventilation holes in the soffit pieces. Now I'm not sold on it, but
wow, that's small because I have those.
Yeah, there were little 1/2-inch holes. You have 1/2-inch holes in the fillers?
I think so.
Because we did away with it because we realized it's just not necessary. But that invited something to start chewing there. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like when we talk about hardware cloth or when you're installing a fencing or screen, you kind of want it tight so they don't feel like that's a soft spot that they can really get some leverage and work their way into. So that's one of the reasons why we stopped doing it. But weasels can really fit into tight areas.
What about fisher cats?
I'm not
sure. They're not native to New York, are they?
I don't know what a fisher cat is.
That has come up in the past, that question, and I have looked it up, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
They're like a weaselly thing.
Oh,
and
okay.
they're like, I don't know, I feel like they're like a weasel and a badger had a baby or something. They're kind of aggressive, or they can. I don't know. It's not something I knew about until the chicken world.
And then when it comes to eagles, I'm not saying an eagle wouldn't pick off like an easy picking, like a young hen or whatever, but eagles really want aquatics. They really want fish.
Really?
So eagles really.
They're always around lakes and they prefer fish.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about the eagles. It's just the hawks.
Right. Hawks, you definitely want to worry
that
about.
chicken hawk. But the good news is we've had bears try to get into the chicken coops and they can do some damage, but they had several times they did not get into the chicken coop. Also, we had a chicken coop at a farm and they were having their cows rub on the cows weren't a predator, but they were doing some damage to the chicken coop. They're such a heavy animal,
a good back scratcher,
and they were using the egg hutch as a back scratch.
Oh, no kidding.
And so they had to do a hot wire just to keep the cows from using the coop as a back scratch. And actually, I don't think it was damaged, but there was a concern, and they wanted to just keep the cows away from the chicken coop.
See, if you didn't have that J channel, then they would cut themselves, and they wouldn't do that.
So real quick, guys,
Hi,
we are
Stormy.
live. It is May 10th, 2024. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, please leave that in the comment section. If you haven't already, give us a wave hi. Let us know where you guys are watching from and hit that thumbs up button. We really do appreciate it.
Hi, E Stormy. She says, I'm getting a bunny bungalow. When? Hope it's a while yet. My bun leaves us. How easy will it be to convert it back into a regular Cali Coupe? And can extra run panels widen the run to 4 times whatever?
Hold on, there's a lot going on.
There
here.
is a lot going
Yeah,
on. So
so
basically
your
she's
bunny-
getting, she's saying she's getting the bunny bungalow. And when the bunny is no longer with her, can she convert that to a chicken coop?
Yes, you can convert it
That's a
into
good
a
question.
chicken coop because we are using the Cali Coupe as the base of the bunny bungalow. So you can convert it back. You'll take out the interior pieces and add the roost bars, and you can't make it wider, but you can make it longer with extra panels.
Yeah, and you have to change out the flooring because the nice thing about the bunny bungalow is that you don't have to clean it. All the bunny droppings fall right through the boards. So you have to change out the floor, add the roost bars, add the perch bar. The egg hutch is there. That's one of their bunny hutches.
And I would argue that you really could just add hemp on top of the floor. I mean, it's kind of a waste, but
yeah,
the floor is beautiful. But you could do that. You could put hemp on top.
And then you could make the argument even further that could be potentially better because some people want air to get up underneath, which could make it an aerobic system, which could get hot.
Is the floor hardware cloth? What's
no,
the floor?
They're boards.
Oh,
beveled boards, so the droppings.
Oh no, you didn't do the video. Have you seen it?
I've seen the video.
Is it on the website?
Yeah. No, we don't have it for sale on the website.
Why not?
Because we have a product rollout process.
Oh my gosh!
Hasn't gone through that, but through word of mouth and the video.
Hold on, Nan, are you there? Tell me what is the rollout
She's gonna
process?
say there's not a manual.
Jeez, I just can't win. But people can do it turnkey without a manual because we're gonna put it together because we've done it.
She'll have a manual.
So let's get it on the website, please. Can we do that?
Sure.
We have beautiful pictures, a beautiful video.
And E Stormy will have the third one.
Anyways, all right, moving on.
Okay. So yeah, and it's harder to make the Cali Coupe wider.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
so
can't make
hold
it
on.
wider.
Someone says painting the underside blue might stop them from nesting. I don't know if that's really true. I've seen that with
pretty.
porches that they try to mimic the blue sky. That's what they did
Might
in
do that.
pyramids, and I don't know if that actually really works.
Simon said he tried to kill a large hornet, but it was so big it grabbed the spray can from him.
Not bad.
I'm throwing these questions in. I am not reading them ahead of time.
Thank you. I love when you guys put question. That helps us so much. I have a hen that went broody, and we got her a couple chicks after a week, and she took them in as if she hatched them. How long will she be? I'm trying not to sneeze. All right, here we go. How long will she be with them, and when will she start laying again?
Well, I'm surprised that this broody took those chicks as her own after
a week.
After a week,
Yeah,
typically,
usually.
I mean, some of the really broody breeds, like silkies, will tend to do that because, and I'm about to try that with my only Silky, because they are such good mothers. They kind of disregard the 21-day rule, but generally speaking, I wouldn't do it.
Weeks.
It's 3 weeks, 21 days before you can give them chicks, but I'm glad this worked. Her maternity leave is about 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be mothering them for 7 weeks, and then she will all of a sudden, just one day, won't even recognize them and go back to her roost and never pay them a bit of attention again
and peck them.
It's
Mine does.
Yeah, it's so strange that the mother will protect them to her death. Like, they are the most important things in the world, and they are to her. And then all of a sudden, it's like a switch. Around 7 weeks, she'll say, I don't know who you are. I'm going back to my sisters.
Yeah.
And the chicks cry, but they're going to be okay. But the chicks never forget who their sisters are. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that is always amazing to me.
Yeah, the mother child relationship, mother hen chick relationship is a very temporary, fleeting one.
My first Broody was a good mom, and she was good to them for her whole life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
it wasn't like a mother chick. It was probably more
but she was a buff, so she was just chill.
Yeah.
But the Brahma she was an awful mother.
Oh,
she was
my
a
last
horrible
one was
mother.
Awful. Just kept kicking them.
Yeah, and she didn't protect them, and she's an awful to them. She's always pecking at her. So.
Oh, I would throw scraps out, and this last mother would leave the chicks in the middle of the yard crying while she wanted to get the scraps. So I guess her stomach was a little bigger than her mothering.
Mm.
All right, so
Skittles.
I didn't know we already brought up another question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Well, here's what I want to do. We can definitely do this, but I've been wanting to address some of the YouTube comments. We don't do that enough.
Fun.
I have that up.
Oh, you do? Oh, I would love to do that because I don't want people to think I'm ignoring being on my phone. I just brought up the YouTube comments, and we got an email that.
Oh, I thought I saw Candy Crush.
Oh, yeah. God, I haven't played Candy.
I'm kidding.
I love Candy Crush. I haven't played that in probably 2 or 3 years.
I'm kidding.
Well, what did Simon have to say? I got 6 chicks. They're a week old, and they went outside at 3 days old.
It was just more of a comment than a
Okay,
question.
awesome. So someone emailed us after watching one of our live videos out in the shop where I was just trying to show you guys some stuff behind the scenes.
I love the behind the scenes
especially when I'm so proud of my team here when they just take it to the next level without me having to ask, have to say anything, this and that. And it was that moment where Eric said, watch this. And he took 2 stringers from our ladder, put it on the CNC, and started dadoing it, okay?
Yeah.
To make little notches for the steps for the ladder. And it had nothing to do with trying to make it stronger, even though we started going up and down on it. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with creating more index points.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's actually, we talked about it last week right here. So then someone emails and says, it hurt me watching you guys fumble, trying to put it together, if you will.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and then goes on to say, here's the best way to do it, and goes on about having clamps at both ends and da-da-da-da. And then at the end says, you're welcome. And it's not the correct grammar.
Oh, my goodness. Y-O-U-R. His
So-
credibility is out the window.
Well, no, listen. So
I don't even want to see it.
Oh.
I'm not even going to comment.
Grammar police.
If he can't say you're welcome right. I mean, how many times in your life do you say you're welcome? I hope that he's embarrassed when he's watching this and he finds out.
Oh, wow. Stop. That wasn't the point. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the
Ingrid's
time.
amused.
Thank
Maybe
you.
no one else is.
Thank you for emailing us. Here's, I guess, what I learned.
Just low on material.
Here's why I always have to have a disclaimer all the time, especially when we're live, like right now. We understand. We got so many clamps. We got clamps. People don't even know what they're clamping for or what they're for. We were just test fitting the pieces. We weren't actually trying to clamp.
Oh.
So, but I appreciate it. But you're welcome. I don't know. And then I thought
You're the one that pointed it out. The man that doesn't like to read things.
Yeah. No, I don't like to read. But this was put on my desk, and I thought.
Do you want to go to comments on?
Yeah, let's go to comments on YouTube.
Let me
real
get
quick.
it out.
You're welcome correctly. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. So I am happy. You know, I did want to share a message this morning. That,
Matt's happy.
Who says that?
You just said it.
I did?
Yeah, you said I'm happy.
See, yeah, I got to stop.
Yeah, stop with the happiness.
No. Okay, here's what happened.
It's contagious.
All right, I'm going back to you then.
No, here's what. Well, Why?
I want to know why you're happy.
Okay, why are we not up in the corner?
I don't know.
That really bothers me. Can you work on that real quick?
No,
So I can...
I don't know how to do this program.
When we disappear, that's when I pick my nose.
Can you explain the message, the confirmation?
You didn't even laugh?
From the customer. See, they're here. I think the cicadas are here. The message that the customer this morning gave us.
Oh, she was awesome. Thank you, Debbie. She's watching this or watching this later. But she says she's new to chickens. She just happened to see the chickens at Tractor Supply. She was looking at the coop. She went home to do some research, and she watched as many videos of ours as she could in 2 weeks. And she contacted me a few days ago and said, I want to come see one of these. And she did, and she just... I would start to say something about the coop, and she would finish my sentence.
She brought us donuts, too.
Yeah, and she referenced every video.
Wow.
I would say something about, what they can't eat or whatever, and she was like, oh, you mean like the 5 things the chickens can't eat? And I'm like, oh, yeah. So she binge watched everything, and I like the brick.
There you go. See?
The brick was kind of nice.
Very Pink Floyd.
All right. So I think I got it.
But that was nice. Thank you, Debbie, and thank you for the donuts. Like I said, I'm going to take a few of those home.
You already are on screen
share. Oh, I was already sharing. Oh, so you guys saw the magic there. Okay, I didn't know I was already on screen share. Okay, here we are. Well, then let me work on it then a little bit bigger. So here we are. I guess that's good enough.
Aww.
Is that good enough?
It reminds me of our first days when we were just on each opposite corner talking.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are, YouTube studio with our comments. And so one of the things that I do love this question is primer or no primer? When I get my American Coop, do you recommend a good primer before the expensive Sherwin-Williams paint? 1 coat of Zinsser 123 Plus, 1 coat of Sherwin-Williams Emerald Rain Refresh, or 2 coats of paint only?
That's a great question. I want to know.
It really is, because here's what I can tell you. And I used to paint professionally, and there are times I still will go to a primer, but it's actually when I'm painting metal. But even now, I'm power washing this building. It's getting down to bare metal. Sherwin-Williams, I'm using some industrial paint meant for metal. They said you don't got to use primer. So, I almost want to bring...
Do you believe that, though? All these paints always say no primer necessary.
Oh, yeah. I do.
And you have to use like 17 coats. It's like, I would have
I totally do believe
maybe
it.
that is marketing. They just want you to use more coats of their paint.
Why wouldn't they want you to buy their primer and then paint?
They all have those paint and primer in one.
I do believe them.
Okay.
Because...
I don't believe them. Give me the
Tell me why. Tell me why you don't believe them, hotshot.
Because you, from experience, like Ingrid said, you do end up having to do multiple coats. If there really was no primer needed, you wouldn't have to do multiple coats.
What's the point to a primer? I'm
not a professional painter. You are.
But you had a point to make.
Well, it seems like you should be able to use.
I'm just skeptical.
So, especially if you have like a darker color and you're painting a whiter color, if you use a primer, the theory is that you shouldn't have to use so many.
That is true. That
it preps the surface.
Yes, the primer is all about the bond.
Ah.
Okay. And a lot of times, especially if we were going over a dark color to a lighter color, no, do I get this wrong? If we were going over a light color to a darker color, we would tint the primer so that it wouldn't show through so much. But here's the thing I can tell you to specifically to this point, this question about using the Emerald Rain Refresh. Talking to the guys out in the paint booth, they are loving Emerald Rain Refresh.
Really?
You know why?
Why?
Because they literally we don't have to do a second coat.
Whoa.
Now,
with no primer?
Correct. Because they say you don't have to use primer, but it's all about making sure the surface is that the paint can bond to it. That is the most important thing. So I would say, do you have to use a primer? My question would be, what are you going over? Because you may not have to.
In this case, it's a chicken coop. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, okay, fine, that's fair. In this specific point, but in general, it's just very important to understand what you're going over and reading the can, reading whatever you are using. So if you're using Emerald Rain Refresh, it doesn't say that you have to use a primer. Now, the other thing is, I do recommend still using 2 coats. So before someone wants to shoot me and say, oh, Matt, you're wrong, yes, you should use 2 coats. And it isn't always just because you got to cover it up so it looks even. It's about the durability. That if you do 2 coats, in theory, it should last longer because you just made the skin thicker. Make sense?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
that's very interesting. Do you think that you would use less rain refresh than woodscapes?
No. And I wish that was the case because Emerald Rain Refresh is a lot more expensive than Woodscapes. Right now, it's all about that LRV, light reflective value, and making sure, like we did one recently, that we had to make sure that color scheme was a very dark red. And she had to mix it so that it was vinyl safe, so we had to use no black colorants. Anyways, so someone says, mice, how do I mouse proof my coop? Technically my co-op. This is a great question because, again, I'm sorry, I'm a bug guy. Proof. Okay, so I've spent hours and hours and hours proofing buildings, meaning you're going around, and you're sealing it up, making sure nothing can get in.
Yep. Debbie asked this question too.
Oh,
today.
The customer today. So I wasn't really listening, but I noticed you did answer a lot of it. I hope you made the point that she, from listening to us and going over our website, that wonderful website that Ingrid does, and even complimented all the great information on the social media, that she realized real quick that it's wrong to go to a box store and get the Chinese coffin coops. Okay,
right.
Good. So that's why we do this show. It's why we do the videos. I want people to realize if you're going to get into chickens, there's a reason why we do what we do. And I don't want people to get discouraged from having chickens because they didn't know it's all about the coop. All right. So anyways, mouse proofing. Okay. Well, one, I want to emphasize how important is mouse prevention. Don't give them a reason to be there. One, it's going to be a food source, and don't give them an easy cavity to nest in. All right.
Did make that point.
Awesome.
She does have a barn. I've never had a mouse problem, and chickens do eat mice. So some people have a mouse problem, some people don't, and I think it's more: is there a mouse problem in your immediate area? Because if there is, they may find the coop. And like you said, there's not any, we looked at the coop and it's like all open, on the bottom. So it's not going to be favorable for a mouse to take harbor there.
Right.
So it's less of an issue with our elevated hen house coops. And even our Craftsmen are typically put on a concrete slab.
That's how we get away with it.
Yeah. And there's not a place for the mice there. So
well, there is, but it's not easily accessible.
Right. And I like this other comment
after that
one.
Hold on. We're not there yet. So
it says get cats.
And that great. More cats. Oh my gosh, there is some truth to that. But to this point, to this question, how do I mouse proof my coop? Technically speaking, unless you made it out of 1-inch solid steel, welded up, airtight box, you can't mouse proof.
You're not.
You can prevent rodents from wanting to get in, but if they want to, they can actually chew through even soft metals. But they can chew through the wood if they really want to.
They get through tiny spaces.
The point I cannot emphasize enough, I only have a little pen here, but if you can fit a number 2 normal pencil through an opening, a mouse can fit through it.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't realize that. And if you can fit a Sharpie through an opening, a rat can fit through it.
Right. So rather to go through the expense and the trouble of making your coop mouse or rat proof, it is better to fix the problem than to try to do that. So are you going to mention the cat comment?
Well, you already did.
I did.
You started
I
yelling
started
cats.
chanting.
No, I do love when an animal has a job. I do love when they're on the payroll. And yes, cats are a great way to prevent mice. But again,
not everybody has their cats outside.
The question is, how do I mouse proof my coop? So that means, how do you keep mice? If you dumped 10,000 mice outside a chicken coop, how are you going to stop them from getting into the coop? That's proofing.
I think they'd run somewhere else. I really do.
Is there a certain comment on here that you wanted to address?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
No, I'm just asking. Are we just scrolling through the comments?
I'm scrolling through the comments because there's so many times I see this, and I wanted to make sure. Why don't you want me? Yeah. We did a video recently, top 4 reasons why people get out of having chickens.
I watched it.
What did you think?
I missed number 2. I was like, why is he going on about this other thing that has nothing to do with number 1? I don't know how
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When things are enumerated like that, I'm like, okay, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and when I miss a number, I get lost. and I get distracted.
Someone says, I don't think you should ever feed any animal their own species. Like chickens shouldn't eat chicken. Cows shouldn't eat beef, etc. This is always how horrible diseases such as prions disease comes out. Hold on. Speaking of diseases, you said something. I want you to bring it up. Is it true that in England, they're social distancing people from their chickens?
That I saw some articles about it. I did the search. I heard the rumor. I did the search. There's articles. I don't know how legit it is, but there is.
Are there videos of that?
The UK has told. I hope so. If not, we'll make our own. Social distancing from chickens. 6 feet. Stay away 6 feet. Because of the avian flu.
Has anyone else heard this? There's no way that's true.
I saw an article about it.
Are you serious?
Just about the avian flu, how it's on the rise.
Yes.
Oh,
but
we're talking about. I think
social
England.
Well, it's the same. Well, I mean, it's this.
Yeah,
same
but
thing.
it's ridiculous to say that you need to stay 6 feet away from your chickens in case
yeah,
they have
absolutely.
the
Especially
avian
your
flu.
backyard chickens.
Yeah.
Maybe your factory farm
Pics or
chickens.
videos, or it doesn't count.
Yeah, really.
I know that I could not adhere to 6 feet
No.
from my chickens.
No.
I'm constantly picking them up.
And then there was another article that I saw that I sent to you guys.
Yeah.
That I didn't fact check that one, but it's believable that they're using guardian geese at the prison in Brazil.
They're probably cheaper to keep than dogs.
Yeah, it said they were cheaper.
Yeah, I would imagine
and
that would be
dogs
the reason.
can be bribed with treats. But the guardian geese are just so fierce that they can't be bribed.
Hold on.
That's what I said.
So down in Brazil,
they have these grassy areas between the prison and then the prison wall, almost like a moat, a grassy moat around the prison. And they used to keep dogs in there, but they were too difficult to keep up with, and they could be bribed and distracted with meat and treats. So they started putting guardian geese in there to alert the guards that someone was in that grassy area, and they say it works.
I too can be bribed with meat and treats, by the way.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
I don't know.
But you can keep your cicada.
I have a hard time believing that.
Like
to
I
be
said,
honest with you.
it was interesting. I didn't fact check it because I was working.
Well, Joshua asked, what is the best dual-purpose chicken? I want to raise chickens for eggs, but I also want the opportunity to have them for meat. So dual-purpose. Explain to us what we mean by dual-purpose.
Meat and eggs.
Right. So there are some breeds that have been bred to be dual-purpose, that they can be a good
They're
egg
a little
layer.
meaty, and they lay a decent
Orpingtons
amount.
are a good example.
A decent amount of eggs, and I would say so many of them that there'd be too many to list. But the ones that you would avoid would be like the leghorn and the ones that have a small body size. So I would say more than list the ones that are dual purpose, just stay away from like the thinner, smaller ones like bantams and leghorns. But
What do you think is the most popular dual-purpose chicken?
Well,
that
the
people
three
get?
most popular, I believe, would be the Orpington, the Barred Rock, and the Rhode Island Red.
Gosh, I think so many people would disagree with you.
I mean, those are. I mean,
The Rhode Island Red, yes. But
the Barred Rock is one of the oldest dual-purpose birds in America.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely one of those. And a lot of the English birds tend to be dual-purpose for some reason.
They're usually bigger too.
Yeah.
They're meatier.
Yeah.
I guess the point is,
you can eat any of them, though, of course.
what makes a good chicken dual-purpose? Let me ask you that.
Because they're meaty. Like they're a decent sized bird. If you're going to go through the trouble of processing a bird to eat, a very small bird or a bony bird is not going to be
Not give you a good yield.
Yeah.
of meat.
I mean, you can eat any of them. Of course, the silkie's going to have black skin, black meat. So that can be a little close your eyes. I mean, we should give one of those to Ethan.
So Joshua, one of
Maybe
them,
for our season finale next week.
one of the chickens that I've heard are great for dual purpose are Freedom Rangers.
Well, yeah, but that's more of a meat bird. That's a version. That's not an egg bird.
I'm just saying that a lot of people have loved them as a dual purpose.
Right, but I'd say that's more of a meat bird.
So I guess it could also come down to what do you maybe have more emphasis on.
Yeah, I would.
Right. I think wouldn't people mostly have them for like 3 years to lay the eggs, and then I mean that's the purpose of having a dual purpose. You try to get as many eggs out of them.
Right.
Their lifetime. Okay.
And at the end of their season,
Mm-hmm.
they're utilized.
Mm-hmm.
How's the temperature in there? Is the AC working?
It's cold.
It is.
It's a little
working
chilly
nicely.
in here. It's cold. With a long wooden tunnel with snap traps to keep the rat problem in control. Sorry, I'm a sucker for anything that's pest control, obviously. With a long wooden tunnel with snap traps. I tell you, there is a whole long conversation just about snap traps and dealing with rats. It's not as simple as that, but I would love if they can explain a little bit more what they mean there. All right, so moving on. Ingrid, if you want to take back over the mouse for the questions, I hope you guys are all having a great day. Hit that thumbs up. We're already coming up to 1 o'clock. I don't know
And
where
whoever
time.
did the thumbs down, come on, change your mind.
No, give me I just always
That's
tell
a great
people if you're
ratio,
going to give me a
though.
thumbs
That's
down,
like
why?
that's like a 1%.
No,
right
I
there.
know. Our viewers are the best. We can't thank you guys enough. I wish we would
I think it was a slip.
I wish we would spend more time focusing on the positive people.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of YouTube Chicken Police, the YouTube. Well, I did mention that I would love to do like a golden bell for this week's YouTube comment that I just thought was genuinely a good point. Just something that really isn't just only good for us, but it's good for our viewers, right?
We the quality of the comments are right here. We get such great comments on this show.
Simon says leave picnic baskets outside the coop to appease the bears.
Picnic baskets.
That's not bad. Also, I'm telling you, we have someone in the Pacific Northwest that swears up and down they have to leave eggs outside their coop because of Bigfoot. So Bigfoot doesn't keep breaking in the chicken coop. And Bigfoot actually leaves them gifts.
Wow.
Ben says there are lots of videos of eagles trying to get full-size hens.
Really? I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
That's interesting. Thank you, Ben, for
But
that comment.
it's not really what they want.
Because I see I have bald eagles right across the street in the lake.
Yeah.
But I'm more worried about the hawks.
Yeah, I think the
I would
hawks
like
are
Bigfoot.
are more
Come visit.
likely.
So as you guys can tell, Nan's mic is working. Who figured out what was wrong with Nan's mic?
Me and Paul.
Okay, well, thank
Thank you.
I got a really cool new cord.
Welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Matt, bear prevention. When we lived in Alaska, we always poured used cat litter on top of the garbage in a can.
Because I guess bears would open
The
the garbage.
ammonia smell kept them away from bothering our garbage
I think that
can.
might keep me away from the garbage too.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So, wait. So he's saying to take... Oh, God. There's nothing grosser than cat litter. Thank God Leo just goes outside. He's such a good boy. On top of the garbage can.
All right, let's move on.
No, hold on. So how does that make...
I'm like tasting that.
How does
I know,
that
it's
make
gritty.
sense? Because the garbage can has a dome top.
it's
Wouldn't
a-
it just all roll off?
No,
Do you
but
put the
it's saying
can upside down?
I don't know.
So
On
it's
top-
like the top
No,
of here.
in
and
the
it-
can, on top of the garbage in the can.
Oh.
'Cause
Oh, that's
For the
the op-
garbage in
Could
can.
you imagine opening that on a nice
Yeah.
hot
No
day?
thanks.
Yikes.
Speaking of ammonia, I read something the other day that I thought was going to be interesting. Because we do have a customer that I do want to go visit. That I have not heard from her yet for the record before they say, oh, Matt hasn't called me back. Call me. You have my number. She claims that the deep litter system is not working because she has constantly a high ammonia smell. And we know how easy the deep litter system is, how well it works. So we know it's not the deep litter system. It's got to be human error. But I don't leave anything to chance. So we're going to hopefully go there and check it out. Someone said, and this makes a lot of sense,
Sorry.
if you are feeding your chickens a high
Sorry. You set yourself up.
If you are feeding your, tell me if this is true or not. If you are feeding your chickens a high protein diet longer than you probably should, or whatever, who cares when?
Cicadas.
Yeah, right. Will that increase the ammonia smell?
Would they defecate more? Is that what I don't understand.
I don't know.
I just thought that was interesting.
The ammonia smell, I would imagine, comes from the fact that they pee and poop in one fell swoop, as it were.
Yes.
So, I haven't
Swoop
cleaned.
poop.
I haven't cleaned out my hen house in 2.5 years.
Yeah,
It doesn't smell though, right?
It does not.
Yeah.
No.
My husband would argue, but it doesn't smell like ammonia. It smells like a barn.
Yeah.
It has that barny smell.
Like a little musty.
Yeah.
Or like a mulch.
I don't know.
Not
So
musty.
before I forget,
Mulchy.
we got to make sure we reach out to her because I'm surprised I've not heard from her. That
Right.
But I am convinced. I'm so convinced that it's human error. I'm willing to go there and film it and
Where is
figure
she?
it out. In the New England area.
Okay.
Here's a question.
Yes. Question. Oh, yes. This was a good one. Which is better, one that holds the eggs vertical
Incubators.
or the one?
You didn't say that word. We're
Yeah.
on a podcast.
You're right. Which incubator is better? One that holds the eggs vertically or horizontally. Now, we just got done incubating.
They both work.
Which one's better?
Which one is better?
Well, I think the vertical ones are high capacity ones. Those are the ones that you typically see. Well, I mean, there's.
Is that one vertical or I don't know. See, I
This
don't
one
incubate.
is horizontal.
Yes.
They're rolling.
Oh, right.
I never heard of a vertical incubator, to be honest
Like the
with
ones
you.
the hatcheries use, they're like cabinets, and all of the eggs are in there vertically to get more in there, and they just tilt back and forth. So
okay.
your high capacity ones are vertical.
So
And
if you're-
obviously they work.
So if you're doing high capacity, the vertical might be better for space.
Yeah.
But let's say for the person that's just incubating at home,
They both work. Whichever one you like better.
if you had to choose,
Yeah,
Kristen,
You
Kristen,
like
which
that
one
one. You like
would
that
you
one.
be
you
consistent?
need to go into politics.
Okay.
You really do. You are a master.
I'm going to clean
at
up
not
this country.
You are a master at not answering the
And I'm
question.
going to start with term limits.
What do chickens before
Convention of States,
if
Article 5.
If incubators were not invented and we needed chickens to incubate the eggs, would the eggs be vertical or horizontal?
They would be horizontal. That's a good point. And I do like this incubator because
Case
you can
closed.
see it so well, and it's got the humidity
Do I need
sensor
like
right
a
on
mic
top.
drop sound effect, Matt?
Oh, it's so hard being in charge.
Catherine says that a Fisher cat looks like a 10-pound weasel. Thank you.
Yeah, and they're mean if I remember
So
correctly.
hard being right is what I meant. So
Debbie
hard being right.
says, it was a pleasure meeting both of you today.
Thank you, Debbie.
Matt, thank you for the explanation visual of the Carolina versus American. Pics don't do justice. Kristen, thank you for the wealth of knowledge. Enjoy
donuts.
Yes. Thank you for the donuts.
Oh, I
Debbie.
know. I was like, Debbie, what are you doing to me? She goes, it's Fat Friday. I said, well, works for me. Hello, Matt, watching from Spokane, Washington. First time I made it to a live show. Well, thank you so much for being here. I miss being in the Pacific Northwest. It is such a great place to visit. We are due to, like, I haven't been there. I know the team
I
has
just
been
got
out
some pictures. Like, I think we were there 7 years ago.
there. I know. It's been so long. It is. I just love it. I just
Yeah.
love it out there. Question. I prefer to install the hen box on the south wall in a full view of the yard. However, this is full sun exposure. Is heat buildup a concern?
Full sun exposure in a southern climate, I would put it on the other side.
Yeah, I
So-
understand what he's saying.
But
That can
this
be
person
brutal.
did this person say they're in the southern climate?
But it is
South
in
wall.
full sun exposure.
Yeah.
So in the summer, it's going to be full sun.
I
Doesn't matter where
would,
you are.
I would put it on the other side, or I would mitigate the heat with a shade cloth or vegetation or climbing vines or something like that. Put something in place, a deciduous tree or shrub, that's going to grow and shade that. So if you really want it on that side, do something so there's shade on that side.
Yeah, because it's hot in there and
Yeah.
they take like a half an hour to lay an egg. And in the summer, you see them in
Or
there
yeah,
panting.
Yeah, or if it's they're broody in there and they're in there
Yeah.
for
So
a long time.
And I had full sun exposure too, and
It can be.
You see, I mean, I got 2 egg hutches because I just like the symmetry of it, but
It can
now
be.
it's shaded, so it's
Yeah, I
okay.
think that's a great point, great answers. Yeah,
Thank you.
this is you're welcome.
Ingrid and I worked on that one together.
Yeah, you got,
in the script.
This is why I do like 2 egg hutches. It's not necessary, but if you
we
like
all
the
like choices.
yes, I totally agree. Oh yeah, it's Mother's Day this weekend.
Yes, I was
Is
going to
it?
say that. Yes, it's Mother's Day on
Oh,
Sunday.
Boy,
So
I tell you, I am so good every year. I am the best son in the world, making sure my mother gets something.
what about
Non?
the mother of your children? Does she get anything?
Oh, she's not my mother.
I know, but
She's the mother of your children.
My children, that's their job. Right? Wait, see, I get so confused on all these
it
holidays.
should be a group effort.
Shouldn't every day be Mother's Day? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just get a little annoyed that, every day should be Mother's Day, in my opinion. Every day should be Christmas. Every day you should treat it like it's your birthday.
I don't like anything special on Mother's Day, but just hang out.
Yes, you do. You love when your children bring you coffee.
Well, yeah. But I don't need anything special. I love when anybody brings me coffee.
All right, so it's a joke. Nan must be on the phone. Nan, she said, for the past 21 years, I am the one that sent flowers to your mother. I was like, oh, cool.
I am.
Yeah, Nan's on the phone. So, Casey has a question.
No, I'm not on the phone. You are right.
Can you cover from a high level what steps are done after coop assembly prior to painting in your turnkey installs? Any suggestions for caulking, sanding, filling, etc.?
This is the one that I asked you the other day when I was here.
Can you cover from a high level? What does high level mean?
Just general, like
I don't
bullet points.
What steps
Without a
are
lot of
done
detail.
after coop assembly prior to painting in your turnkey install? So
He wants to do it like Ethan. That's the question. If you remember.
Oh.
He wants it to look like our pictures.
This is very interesting and actually a great question, because we have learned that apparently we don't do a good job explaining to people when you see coops that we have assembled and you see pictures of them on our website, on our social media, there's a reason why they look so good.
It's a lot of work.
We spend days sanding, wood filling, caulking, painting, some more caulking, painting. It's nuts. Actually, the painting's the quickest part, but
It's the prep.
it's all about the prep.
And the finishing.
Yeah. So so the question is, from a high level, what steps are done after coop assembly? Because I guess this is where I get thrown off, because the painting and the sanding and the wood filling starts before assembly of the chicken coop.
We recommend that, yes.
That's included in our new owner's manual.
Here's what I can tell you, folks, and I want to continue with this because this is a question we get a lot, and it can be very confusing. You walk out to our shop floor, and Evan can tell you. I know he's like, I can't believe Matt allows this. Because for years I said no. It's why charge a customer for us to do work that we know they can do. All the sanding and all the wood filling. And then it's come about that people just want to slap their coop together and paint it and have it look like it does on our website for the coops we've assembled. And that's impossible.
I'm okay with that, actually.
You're okay with what?
I just wanted to mention not everybody wants that level of perfection on
That's
a
a good
chicken
point.
coop.
Exactly.
I'm going to put my chicken coop under some trees in the woods. So it's not going to be in the front of my house. It's not going to be a showpiece. It's going to blend in with the natural surroundings, and I want my chickens to be the showpiece. So it can depend on your personal preference, and I was talking to Debbie about this today. It's absolutely personal preference. So you don't necessarily have to do all that if your coop is painted and protected from the elements.
Thank you. You are so correct. But what
So
happened?
I don't want people to think they've got to do all this
Yeah.
stuff that they
Mine
really
was
don't
a
have to.
showpiece, and now it's hidden, and it's 7 years old. So it's showing its wear. It's not going to stay beautiful forever.
Yeah, mine is 10 years old, I think, and it's dusty, but it's still beautiful.
But you're right. They don't have to do that. You know why? Because we're doing it all now. It is nuts. And I said, this is why Nan's like, we got to raise prices. You go out there, it sounds like a hive of bees. The amount of sanding and wood filling, they're wood filling in knots in the wood you will never see.
Wow.
Because
that's maybe why it takes longer to make one these days than it used to.
That's what they were saying in the meeting. Like, we had a
they brought that up.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Are you being serious or
No,
not?
I wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to make sure that was addressed.
It is nuts. And the reason is we've had customers, again, we strive to make everyone happy. That's my fault. Sorry, guys. That's my fault. We've had customers take the coop walls off their pallet, but they see parts of the pallet and they think that's part of their coop. And they're literally sending us pictures going, oh my God, look how awful this piece of wood is. And we're responding back going, that's part of your pallet. And I get, you're not going to make everyone happy, but we're going to try like how we are doing. They're sanding and wood filling and everything. It is absolutely nuts. Okay, so back to Casey's point. How do I make it look like
And
Ethan?
he did order on one of our chicken coops.
And thank you so much for your business. Hold on, please. No. I'm just getting started. We're going to get there because this is something that people
Get it
ask
off
all
your
the time.
chest, Matt.
Well, no, because I want to
Let me
make
rev you
sure
up.
we are setting the right expectation. And I like what Casey said when he asked you, how do I make them look like when Ethan does them, and or Sean, because they're both excellent finishers. And when it comes to it's systematic, to be honest with you. But if we are so in this particular situation, are we assembling the coop and not painting it?
No, we're not.
Oh, so we're gonna ship it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so
he just wants to know how to finish it so it looks good.
Right. So we should probably do a video of the steps to help people be successful. I can tell you there's a lot of skill, a lot of craftsmanship, but the advantage and why for example, we don't attach a screen anymore so that it's easy for you to paint. If you want it to look like it's a piece of plastic, which is what typically people want to see, it's a lot of wood filling and sanding. And then technically when you paint it, you want to sand it again. And that's what they do. It drives me nuts. But what happens is when you take a piece of wood, all right, and you paint it, you'll start to raise the grain and you can feel it. Okay, it's not a lot, but it'll start to raise it. So what you do is you go through and you sand it and you're removing half the paint. But what happens is you start leveling off that surface. So when you paint it again, it doesn't raise up as much. And then you sand it and then you paint it again. And next thing you know, it's like glass.
Yeah. That seems a little unnecessary for a chicken coop.
You think that.
I do.
I wouldn't disagree, but I can tell you when you're selling to the world that everyone's level of their expectation of what it should look like when it's done is insane.
Just please, when you do that video, mention that.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is give people almost like what level do you want your coop to be looking when it's finished?
Do you want it to look natural or do you want it to look, like you said, finished showpiece?
Right. And then once it's painted, or you wood filled, you sand, you painted it, you sand it some more, paint it again, and then you start your assembly process. Okay? And then that's when you're going to go through and start caulking. Here's what I cannot say enough. People have asked, Matt, when do I caulk? When do I wood fill? Well, you wood fill when you're filling in a small crack or gap or hole or whatever on one continuous piece of wood, one piece of material. When you caulk is when you got two different pieces of material coming together that are going to move differently. So you got to use a caulk because it'll help
bridge that gap.
Exactly, and be flexible. Now, getting into the world of caulk, I'm not going to bore you guys with all that. There's good caulks, bad caulks. I love caulk that has silicone in it. I think it just does better. You want to make sure that you have a caulk that's willing to be painted or stained. So I guess I can move on from there, but there is so much to that subject.
Yeah, just for Casey, we use the DAP.
Yes. It's not the cheap
with silicone.
Yes. The secret to me is silicone. Now, you can go and buy some of that more expensive stuff. I think it's gimmicky for the DIYers. But a silicone-based caulk.
Okay, can I click this off?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So Mike Trapp also says we gave our Broody hen 4 chicks about 7 weeks ago. And
hold on, I got to pause. Just because using the DAP doesn't mean it's going to look the same. That's what pisses me off. It's more about the skill. And then I think we send the wrong message when we say, oh, use Sherwin-Williams paint. Use this type of wood filler. Use the DAP silicone. No, find a silicone you like, and this is why we choose certain silicones, but it has so much to do with the skill.
Of course.
How many?
So I think we dismiss it. Look at the videos of Mike out there caulking. He's like, I don't know how he does it so good.
How many coops between Ethan and Sean? How many do you think they've built?
Assembled.
Assembled, sorry.
That's a good question. Nan could tell you.
Sean's been doing it since
like
7 or 8 years.
2014, 15, 2015, I think is when he started.
Technically since 2012. He went on the road full time about 2014. But anyways,
like 200, 300.
Oh yeah, way more than that.
Yeah, more than
So
that.
it's like a piano player. You could sit down anyone at a piano, the same piano, but the one who's played it 1,000 times, it's gonna sound better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And these guys have just become, I mean, there's so much to it. And I want people to be successful when they're putting together their own coop, but I guess there is a skill to it.
It's 1:13.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
East Stormy says, I agree with Kristen. I did Easter. What did I miss there?
That was Mother's Day. Don't read the comments.
How we gave our Broody hen 4 chicks about 7 weeks ago, and they are in the basement brooder. Today we found an egg. Guess Mama is done
as
Per
per
Kristen.
Kristen.
Yeah,
So-
that's her maternity leave.
Yep.
So when they start laying eggs,
Yep, they're done mothering and they start going back to laying eggs. Now, I did see.
did
Oh,
she?
I did see a question. Someone asked how many basement brooders did we sell after last week's show,
Oh, yeah.
and there were 3.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Fill me in. Why? I don't.
Because
we showed the basement brooder.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that's right. Because we showed the one that Ethan did over in
Right.
Hillsboro.
Right. The aftermarket basement brooder.
In-
which is not on the website. So 3 people.
When can we get that on the website, Ingrid?
Listening to the
Talk
show
to Nan.
called me.
Nan, can
I'm
you
not,
chime
I'm
in?
not somebody that can
What's
just
the
put-
hold up?
I would love to chime in and just say that we need to have a manual. We need to have build sheets. We need to have pricing. And so that means we need to have time trials on making the basement brooder, and then we need to know how we're going to ship it out and get shipping costs and tally all that up so we can have a price.
All right,
on a roll-up
welcome
sheet for
welcome
Ingrid.
to behind the scenes, folks.
Thank you, Nan.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna make
Then
a point.
photos.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm gonna make a point, and I
I've-
hope
I've-
you guys prove me wrong. Nan is not wrong
Right?
in how to do things.
That's right.
Do you think it's gonna get done?
I've sold 12 already.
No, you're just going to flop it on the table and we're going to do it, and everybody's going to be grabbing butt cheeks until we get it done.
Right.
I've sold 12 over the last year.
Thank you. It won't get done unless we force it. We can try to think we work for NASA and we get paid with an open checkbook. But when in real life, we actually got to get things done. And I hope one day we can do it exactly how Nan said it. We won't because we're not forced to. We will keep.
You can also force procedures that streamline processes.
We do. That we do.
Well, that's what this thing, what she's talking about, is just basically doing it. You're saying we have
Okay,
to
yeah,
put
yeah,
the horse before the cart, and Nan and I are kind of saying like, well, maybe we should have a procedure in place in that
Just
way.
do the damn paperwork so we can do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Show me that it'll get done. What's today's date? May 10th, 2024. I know how these things go.
Would you like
Anyways.
for me to do that next week?
Okay, truth be told, I know what Nan's doing, and she's not wrong. We have an employee. That's
I'm
all she.
stewing is what I'm doing.
I don't know what stewing means, but that's all she's doing, if I understand correctly. So I'm like, you know what? If that's what it takes, fine.
She's doing new product development.
She's doing everything to make sure we hand Ingrid a package of information with a bow on top. So all Ingrid has to do is take that information, put it on a website, and make it look beautiful.
That
Right?
is
That's all I
correct.
have to do.
That's all she has to do.
That's all. I do nothing
Makes
else.
it sound so busy.
No, I didn't
so
think you
easy.
do nothing else, but when it comes to getting things up,
It's a lot.
I bet it is.
It's not just, but I do need the information because those are just the facts, and then I have to write stuff. Just so you know, I don't think people realize that that the content is not something that like that comes from me.
Speaking of content, why it's beautiful, our acre page. Beautiful. Thank you, Ingrid. But it's on the shopping side of the website, not on the main
I
web.
am working on making a little graphic button for both home pages, so you'll be
Okay.
able to access it.
Awesome.
I'm ahead of you there. I just haven't done it yet.
And I've been using the link.
Debbie used the apostrophe RE.
We had a hen
Thank you,
adopt
Debbie.
another hen's chicks after she was done caring for them at 6 weeks. The foster mom took care of them until they were too big to fit under her wings.
Oh, I love this. Chickens are always breaking the rules, and
yeah,
right. I've
Like
had
someone
2
else I know.
mothers.
Elizabeth says, I used Bear from
I don't
Home
know who he was
Depot,
looking at.
didn't prime, did a couple of coats, and boom, done. Yeah, I mean, again, if you read it, a lot of them are going to say you don't have to prime. Here's why. Technically, your first coat is your primer. Even though I know there's chemical differences in some primers to help with that bond, like act as that bridge. And I know with metals, I find that to actually be true, especially like an etching primer. But I think it still has so much to do with the surface.
Okay, I'm just getting the questions. Here we go. This is. Go ahead, Matt.
One coat paint, then caulk, and then another coat of paint, question mark. What parts do you caulk on an Our Coop, for example, where the 2x4s meet and not? Thank you. Okay, yes. Okay, so.
And let's do a video. I believe this is our Switzerland coop. So
Is this the one that went out yesterday? Can we do the turnkey for you? I want to go to Switzerland. I got a new passport. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. We'll come to Switzerland. I'll give you a deal of a lifetime.
I just need a free place to stay, and I'll be there.
All right, so
We will do a video on this, though.
we
I think
really
the
should.
finishing of the coop, there seems to be some questions. So.
Well, because I want people to be able to do it where they have an understanding of what's involved. Because I think a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, why is turnkey so expensive? Why does it cost so much to paint? It's because there's so much work involved. It almost takes as long to finish and paint the coop like we do than it does to actually build it and assemble it, right? I mean, it's a lot. It doesn't have to be. Like Kristen was saying earlier, it doesn't have to be so long. So we got to figure out how to get people to understand, okay, pick a level. What level? Do you want it to stay natural and leave it like it is? Okay, you can, especially now with Acre. Oh my gosh. Now with this Acre material, you absolutely can. Here's a stained piece, but since we have some Acre here. But if you want it to have that uniform, solid look, there's a lot of caulking involved. So like, for example, when your two walls come together, you have two different pieces of material. And this is, if you want to bridge this to make it look like one, that's where you're going to want caulk. You're not going to want a hard wood filler. When these things start to move back and forth and up and down or whatever, it's going to crack to pieces. The silicone-based caulk that is paintable or stainable is what we use between here. But here is what happens. And this is the art of it. That you put a bead of caulk, and then actually what Sean does, he takes a straight edge, like you're mudding drywall, and he'll run that straight edge right on up. So it's a lot more caulk than you would think, and it gives it that one uniform look versus, do you just want to close that gap and you really don't care about making these two pieces look like one? Then you just put a bead of caulk in there and then run your finger up.
And you don't need to do a caulk.
And yeah,
Because,
that's true.
right?
You don't even have to caulk
you've-
it if you don't want to.
Yeah, you've already painted the pieces. You're putting it together. You don't need the caulk.
Right, so there's like level 1, 2, and
Yeah.
3. Now, the other thing, too, that I do recommend is if you got, let's say we got the corner of the wall, and with the Our Coop, the siding goes on the inside, so that's going to be the Acre. You do want to run a bead of caulk around the entire inside of the frame. 'Cause you got to remember, the American Coop is very Tudor style, where we're showing the framing of the building structure. And it's good to caulk all those inside corners, and again, silicone caulk, seal that up, and then paint it. Now, the other thing is, they mentioned, do you paint it, then caulk, and then paint it? The other thing is, I'm actually not a big fan of caulking bare wood. You can, and I think our master caulker, Mike, would argue that. And he's probably not wrong. I can tell you what you don't want to do is wood fill over top of paint. I guess you can definitely get away with caulking before or after paint, but you're not going to want to wood fill after paint. I think that's definitely the point I wanted to make there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, I'm getting hungry too. My breakfast is right here. Thank you, Nan. I didn't get around to it. Oh, I even smell the hot sauce. It's Fat Friday, so I guess I'm allowed to have a little bit of keto. I hope you guys are doing well. Again, just a reminder, today's May 10th, 2024. Today is the day we sponsor our first minor league baseball team. Why did we do it?
Because it's going to be a great thing for the community. It's going to be great for just, I think in chicken world in general, it's nice for people who aren't even interested in chickens to see what backyard chickens are and what they look like, because they have in their mind something that's dirty and ugly and disgusting. So even the people that don't want to have chickens can see that if they're what they look like and it doesn't smell and they're beautiful and the coop's beautiful. So when they hear, oh, my neighbor down the street got chickens, I'm not going to get upset about it because I'm envisioning this now.
Right,
So even I think it's great to have them in public for that reason, because it's an awareness. It's getting kind of the stigma of chickens removed when we have them in public. So just it's a public service really for the chicken community.
Yeah, and I think it's a surprise. You're walking into a baseball stadium.
It's amusing.
And then all of a sudden you see a chicken coop, and that's the spark that maybe people have never seen chickens before, or have no idea why is there a chicken coop here, and it's meant for the backyard. So we'd love to figure out, we want to be that spark where that interest is first started. And I believe that more and more people are continuing to learn about the world of backyard chickens, and why not be a part of an area that's the last place you would ever expect to see chickens. You're also going to see a little bit of our social media coming out here in the near future. Is you're going to see some people getting chickens in a chicken coop from us, and that we're doing a collaboration, that the last people you would ever think are getting chickens. Yeah, here, let me move that. I got that.
Yeah, why'd you put that up there?
I don't know. Just
Yeah, chickens really do span all types of people. Like, it is not just one type or one age or one demographic. It is really, they do span.
Can the chicken run door panel be placed upside down? We have a groundhog that likes to come in our chicken run, so I placed our pull it shut door higher, and I used gang plants to fly
Planks.
upon.
Mm-hmm.
Planks.
Yes, this is the method that we use when people have backyard goats. We don't want the goats to squeeze through that chicken door, so we elevate the chicken door, and that is just an insert in that panel, so it can be moved up and down in the panel. And if that's the case, then your backyard dog or your backyard goat can't get through that chicken door.
Or your backyard groundhog.
Right? Groundhog. We just have to, make some accommodation to make it easier for them to fly through that door. And that's usually just a little perch on both sides or a plank or whatever you decide to use.
Yep.
What are J6ers?
January 6th.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I was like, what? I didn't know if that was a baseball team I never heard of, but bring our J6ers home. Or the hostages, I'm assuming we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Nancy says, we have your watering system and have all the items recommended. We collect rainwater. How often should the barrel be washed out? The heater is extremely slimy. Is that normal?
Okay, so great question. Okay, we have your watering system. So we have two types of watering system, but they're going to be very, very similar. We got the basic poultry water system, which consists of a rain barrel, a base, and a water bar with
Well,
two
the rain barrel doesn't come with a basic, just to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And the gravity system has not been public long.
Oh,
FYI.
well, wait, is the new gravity water system public? Sweet.
Published, yeah.
Published,
Yeah,
public. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, okay. How often should the barrel be washed out? So I'm assuming it's one of our rain barrels, or it can just be any regular plastic rain barrel. The heater is extremely slimy. Is that normal? Okay. Glad you brought
It's
that
over
up.
there.
Can you, Christopher?
There's he.
And I will comment just right off the bat is it depends on how much leaf litter and natural material is falling on your roof and getting into your system. I've noticed that can be a big factor. I have a lot going into my system just because it's in a wooded area and a lot falls on the roof.
Yeah, I tend to change my water out seasonally.
Yeah,
maybe 3 to 4 times a year. I clean out the rain barrel, like wash it out.
I do it in the fall once or twice, well, once a year or so. But I really should be doing it once a year in the fall.
All right, so I'm glad you brought that up because to answer that question, we get this question a lot, is every situation is different. What I would say is just do that visual inspection, and if you feel like something's off, then it's time to clean it. It's almost like, especially when it comes to cleaning out the rain barrel, I would say, I mean, how often can you use a plate that you've used? I mean, we're going to use it once and then wash it, or are we going to use it a couple times and all of a sudden it gets real dirty and then we don't want to use it again? Maybe you got a dog with a water bowl. Do you clean it every time you refill it, or do you wait until it ends up? Oh, you do? Every time? Ingrid's like, oh, yeah, you do. Oh, really?
Well, I do it twice. I give her fresh water twice a day with her meals, and I clean the bowl out.
You actually wash the bowl, the water bowl, every day?
Twice.
Twice a day?
Twice a day. Wow.
Do you do that for your cats?
No.
Okay. Well, I see.
She also gets filtered water, but yeah, whatever.
But I do notice when I do clean out the water dish, it's slimy.
Yeah,
it gets slimy.
I don't
That's
know
why
why it's slimy.
That's why I watch it, because it's their saliva.
Oh.
Oh, you ought to see Gus's.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Now, when we say clean it, do you mean you're putting it in the dishwasher?
No.
You're scrub. Oh.
I get in the sink. I dump it out. I take a sponge. I clean it out, and then I rinse it, and then I give her ice and water.
Okay. I what I meant by is like the disinfecting, some Dawn dish soap. We got to dip it in the sanitizer.
Yeah.
She gets a sponge and cleans it.
Yeah, with
No
her
shit.
hands.
I just use the hose. I power wash it. I mean, you ought to imagine with a Mastiff. Anyways, so again, how often? It really depends. Like you were saying, with if you got organics getting in there.
I would say once a year in the fall. Would be the minimum.
Yeah, I think or twice a year. Like summer, like we cleaned it out, and it was like recently, and it was kind of gross from being in the whole winter. And when we took that stuff out, that's a good excuse to clean it out. When you start taking your heated elements out, that's a nice opportunity to dump it, clean it out, have fresh water for the summer, and then maybe once again in the fall.
And these things are going to get ugly. And
Well, okay, so that's why I wanted to
I wouldn't
explain.
be concerned
Okay.
as long as it's working.
Okay, so the question is, how often should the barrel be washed? I would say as you feel needed. Some people probably clean out their barrel once a year, which is like me. I'm just going to go rinse it out once a year, check on some things, and it's not that bad. I often see, and we did this at a site survey the other day, and if you have chickens, you've seen this. They go and will drink the nastiest water.
Oh, totally.
I'm
Mud
not
puddles.
saying that that's okay, and I'm not saying that you should just let your water get nasty in your rain barrel. I'm not saying that, but I think sometimes we overthink it. But if it starts to smell bad, to me, that's when we should address it. I don't know if slimy is. Oh, Ingrid's walking away. Stay tuned.
Oh, we got the point.
Okay.
Oh,
We don't have a lot of time.
We got that.
Why did it get so awkward about the bring our J6ers home? Do you guys feel that? Did you feel that in the air? Is that bad? Isn't that a good thing?
I just don't
Why
know.
would anyone want hostages?
I don't know why where that came from. Like as
Well,
far
because
as,
I was just reading that and I just thought that was good. But I mean, I just thought it was kind of weird. That it got a little weird in here. My God, I would absolutely agree bring them home, but I guess at what cost? I guess that's for another show.
well, another one committed
Yeah.
suicide.
Are you serious?
Another one? What?
Yeah. J6er.
The one of the hostages that were released?
No, he was waiting to go to jail.
I don't know. Anyways, just the freaking world is nuts right now. And I tell you, I watch too much news. It just gets to me. It's so depressing. And you can't help but ask why. Why is it really happening? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's nuts. But back to
Would you be concerned about this?
Well, hold on. I was going to
Would
keep
you-
on talking about this until Ingrid gets back. I think it's got to be kind of funny. How often should the rain barrel be washed? So I would just say as needed. You collect rainwater, which I think is good. But some could argue that, like when we fill up our rain barrel here with our hose, I can smell the chlorine from the city water, which you can also make that argument if the chlorine's good or bad, but it seems to dissipate from the water real
does
quick.
dissipate.
They're starting to eliminate fluoride from our public water systems. That was a
Quietly.
big thing here in North Carolina that people are arguing is fluoride good or bad. Is that contributing to things? So it's like right here with the this de-icer that I pulled out of our rain barrel, and I don't know if this is like a manganese or something, but we don't use rainwater here, and this is straight from the city. And I can tell you, I've noticed de-icers look worse from the using city water than they do rainwater. And if it's slimy, I don't know. I don't know if slimy can be bad. It doesn't sound good. And then the other question is that normal? I would say it's not, but I would have to believe it has so much to do with the type of water in the rain system.
Yeah, it does get slimy, I think.
Yeah,
I think that's normal.
But it's not abnormal. This has
No.
been around, I think, for 3 or 4 years. And we always test it every fall before we're going to use it. But this is something we did a video. We're just going to soak it in some white vinegar, right?
Right.
And then scrub it, clean it, get it back to normal.
Joy has a question.
All right. Did we get in trouble?
I purchased an American Coop double door.
I think it's Dutch door.
Dutch door. The holes for the window.
Or maybe it's double door.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that must be the hen house doors on the back. The holes for the window dowel rods, should they be stained? I'm getting insects or something.
Yes.
Is making blockage of debris, mud in the hole.
Yeah, that's not going to make a difference. So mud daubers, we have learned.
Oh.
Mud daubers are loving those holes.
The dowel holes.
The dowel holes. It's not the end of the world. You can go and clean it out, but I have noticed that even on our coops. I'm like, gosh.
Really?
But I would like to announce that, again, there is something coming that's going to change all that.
Okay.
So I think the dowel system works really, really well because it's simple.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about the wind. You don't have to worry about someone really screwing it up, even though I guess they could break it if they wanted to. That is something we have noticed. What I would say is if it's something that's really bothering you, the stain won't stop it. What would stop it is some type of insecticide residue that's going to suspend on a porous surface. And especially in the springtime, if you have something sitting around that is, gosh, you could even dust it with diatomaceous earth.
Can you stuff it with the stainless steel scrubby?
What if you just keep
thing?
the dowels in the holes?
Well, so there's technically 8 holes per door. There's 3 on each side and then 2 of the holding holes. And we've noticed the horizontal ones, which are the ones that the mud daubers are going to want to nest in, are going to be the horizontal ones. And gosh, I just thought of this. If you put a little bit of clean it out, let it dry, put some diatomaceous earth in there, just a little, they'll not want to be in there anymore.
That's
so
a good.
coat your dowels.
Right.
with
Here's why. Because
DE.
the dust will suspend on the porous surface. A lot of liquid formulations will penetrate,
write that down.
which means the wasps, in this case, will not go in there. But before people want to be, I can hear it now. They're going to start screaming at me. Yes, be smart. If you're putting a dowel in there and out, if you use too much dust, yeah, that's going to be right at breathing level. You could definitely make the argument that could introduce you to exposure to the diatomaceous earth, but I can promise you if it's just a little, and use food safe. That means there's not other inert ingredients in it or active ingredients that can be that much more harmful. I would do that.
All right,
we should try that here and see what happens.
We got to get through these questions because don't we have to go?
No, we don't have to go. Please bring the questions in. I don't want to go out there and work.
You don't?
No, you do got to go. You got to get ready for the ball game tonight.
Don't you have to finish filming that thing? We've got our social media guys here.
No. We are going to talk about that, and I brought Evan out, and I think we're going to make a major design change.
Okay, so it wasn't me that you were mad at?
Oh no! I know. I don't get mad at anybody. 1, 2. It was
By Christopher.
By Christopher. A combination of many things.
He needs the camera, doesn't he?
Oh, you want me to bring something?
Yeah, that's not a good
All
idea.
right. Let's rapid fire through the questions, and then Christopher's going to take this beautiful 4K camera.
Need to sit before I can slip chicks under her? We already talked about this, but we'll bring it up again. For Sassafras, I ordered 5 chicks last January, and they're coming in 2 weeks. I'm getting nervous.
3 weeks.
3
so
weeks.
If you're...
Oh, rapid fire. Just boom. You can only answer
If they're
in 1
coming in
sentence.
2 weeks, I hope she's already been sitting for a week.
Yeah.
Question, do you use sanding sealer? And does the paint stick if you use sanding sealer?
We don't use sanding sealer, and I'm not 100% familiar about what sanding sealer is. I've heard of it, but I don't think I know enough to understand to answer that.
Okay, I'm looking for
Someone
questions.
asked if I was taller. I think my seat's just taller.
Is that what you're doing? You're trying to get an inch in on me?
Bruce says Ethan paints, then builds, then sands, then caulks, then paints again. It still looks great after almost a year.
Whoa. Hold on. What?
That was Bruce Fahey.
Mr. Fahey, how are you doing today? I can't wait to go out and see his coop.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of our stops along the West Coast.
And Mike Trapp just painted all
hold
sides.
on.
What?
I know.
Rapid
I'm trying
fire.
to rapid
Do you
fire.
not? You don't
Ethan
understand
paints
rapid
and
fire.
builds and sands, caulks, and paints again. Still looks great after almost a year.
That's
mine
doesn't work.
So
rapid
yes, this is
fire.
a customer that had turnkey with Ethan, and again, this is what I think people don't see until they see it firsthand. They understand why it's so time consuming and a lot of work, and there's an art to it.
Bruce had the first baseman, I think.
Mm-hmm. We answered Joe's question. We just answered that. It was the
sorry.
mud dabbers. Okay, see.
Why do you want a wood fill on the top of the paint? Why don't you want a wood fill on top of the paint? That's a very good question, because you have to understand paint.
Well, wood fill is like wood, so you want it right up against the wood. So you can paint on top of both, and it's seamless.
What is paint?
A covering.
It's a barrier. It's a layer. So that's exactly it. I am impressed. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, no, that was good.
All right, another question. Quick. Caulk question. I have to make sure I pronounce that correctly. It didn't sound like something else. Can you sand and paint pressure-treated wood as it's damp? It's been raining nonstop around me, and I only have a few days of sunshine.
Can you? Yes. Would I recommend it? No.
No. And sometimes the boards are so wet when you get them from the stores.
Yeah.
We're aware. We got 2 new bundles out in the shop now cooking. We have to break them apart, sticker them all, put them in front of the fan. It takes about a month to dry it out. It is nuts. And I can also tell you want to be careful. You know, pressure treated doesn't have the chemicals like it used to, but just be mindful anytime you're sanding anything, what you're breathing in, especially with pressure treated lumber.
Yeah. And we use pressure treated as the bottom board. You shouldn't have to do it very much to it because it's against the ground.
All my
Or down
chickens
there.
12 have bare backsides. What could be the problem?
It's
you
your
must have a
rooster.
rooster.
You need to get rid of your...
Nancy, can you confirm you have a rooster?
You need to get rid of your rooster or get more hens?
What type of stain oil? And she's that was about the okay. I'm sorry. Now I'm doing what you do.
The rods.
And they do want you to come to Switzerland.
Yeah,
you are correct.
Yeah,
I can't say
I will
anything.
definitely
You are
come.
so correct. As Ingrid's scrolling through the comments.
Okay.
You can stay here. We have enough room for you. Oh,
All
that
right.
was going to Switzerland?
Yeah, I'll come in June.
Thank Bug Guy Matt. Thanks, Bug. You are welcome. Hopefully that's helpful. Again, I'm just kind of, and it's been years
She
for
doesn't
me
have
now.
a rooster, Nan.
That's weird.
So maybe she's got some kind of mite problem. If it's just the back, like the fluffy butt area. I've never had a rooster. So I don't know.
Wait a minute. I'm picturing the backs, not the butt. If it's the butt, that's usually mites.
Yeah. It
I'm
sounds like
picturing the
mites.
back.
That was
Okay.
what I was picturing.
Yeah. No, I was picturing butt. So that's probably mites. Right? I don't.
That's what I would, some sort of mite or some sort of.
Okay, we're at the end of a comment. So what does that mean, Matt? Do we have to?
Well, we're already done. No, arsenic was used for pressure treated wood back in the day.
Is
That
next
true.
week our season finale?
You're going away, right? You're going to New York.
Oh, that's what you mean. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I can get away. I need to. I don't know. I might just go another year. Let the house just sit up there before I sell it. Nobody's buying now anyways. I heard the real estate market's down. Maybe I'll just rent a house.
You have a buyer. Have
Yeah,
him
that's
take
true.
it as is.
Sean and Chad just came down here clearing out. They go, that's some of the stuff from your garage. I'm like, oh my gosh. There is stuff I have not seen in so long. I hate moving.
Oh.
I don't know.
If there's anything good, let me
Nobody
pick through
likes.
it.
Nobody likes to move.
Oh, it's awful. Wait, Mr. Fahey says he has a question.
Will you do an electric fencing show before the final show?
Hold on, Joan. Joan says I don't comprehend rapid fire.
He really doesn't.
Will you do an electric fencing show before the final show? Probably not. Maybe next season. I'm freezing now. Hope it's not. Mine's too. Video cutting out. That must be his time to go. That's Ingrid over there hitting buttons to make
Bye,
it come to an
guys.
end. Later.